Hey everyone, Marcia here. I am back today with another scrapbook process video for My Creative Scrapbook. Today I'm working with the April Main kit, and this kit features Paige Evans Blooming Wild collection. I am scrapbooking a photo of my daughter and a girlfriend of hers. They recently had a girls' weekend trip to Sonoma, California, where they visited a bunch of vineyards. In the background, if you look closely in the photo, you can see the rows of grapes behind them. When I saw this pattern paper in the Blooming Wild collection with the squares and the rows, it looks like they could be crops, right? So I thought, okay, I should use that pattern paper. And then I also selected the purple plaid one too because purple wine, why not? And it made for a beautiful background for all of the fussy cut flowers that I wanted to use on my layout. So I decided to go with some torn pattern paper at the top and at the bottom of my layout. And then I wanted to arrange my fussy cut flowers along those torn lines. That's what I'm doing here, moving around the different flowers to figure out where I want them to go. And there are actually two sheets of pattern paper that I fussy cut out for this purpose. One of them was relatively easy to cut out. It had the bigger flowers. The other one was a bit more difficult because the flowers overlapped. So it was a bit trickier to fussy cut. And in some cases, I had to make a choice to remove part of a flower so that I could cut out the rest of a cluster that I wanted. There are a lot of pieces of sunflowers here that were either on the edge of the paper, so they're straight on one side, or they're missing certain parts. So I'm trying to put those pieces underneath the torn paper. The torn paper is wonderful for this because I still want to see that torn edge, but I don't want to see my half flowers either. So I'm going to tuck them up underneath there, or I can hide that edge of the flower underneath the photo, and you would never know that it's not a full flower. So there were some die-cut ephemera flowers as well, and die-cut ephemera butterflies that I am going to use on this layout, and some chipboard pieces as well that would work really well with this. So there's one I found that says two of a kind that I am putting on my photo, which was, I thought, really appropriate for these two. They love to travel. They've taken some girl trips together. They met in vet school and now live in different states, and these trips allow them still the opportunity to see each other and keep that friendship alive. So there's a die-cut ephemera piece that says Lovely Day that I'm arranging in the lower right corner, and I'm arranging some of those fussy cut flowers around it. Arranging the flowers is a bit more time consuming than I had expected. Or maybe I'm just picky. There were some cases where my clusters are too big and I had to fussy cut them to be smaller, especially the big cluster I had on the left side of my photo in the bottom. I moved that cluster around several times and then decided I was going to take some of the leaves off so that it wouldn't go over the edge of my page. And I still wanted to see the torn paper on that side of my photo. So this did take some time, and it was helpful for me to spread all of my flowers out so that I could see what I had and grab color or size that I thought I needed for placing on the layout. When fussy cutting flowers, I find it easier to do with a smaller scissors, a smaller, very sharp scissors. So I like using my cutter bee scissors to do that. They are very sharp and they can maneuver around into tight spaces. So fussy cutting flowers does take time, but this is something that you can do while you're watching TV at night. Or what I do is I'm still working from home, so when I have some of those boring work meetings, I can sit and be fussy cutting out flowers while I'm listening to other people speak in the meeting. When I have all of my flowers arranged on here the way I want, I'm going to take some of the buttons from the chipboard sticker sheet and put them in the center of the flowers. One of the things that I do though, because it's American Crafts chipboard and it seems to be twice as thick as other companies' chipboard, I will use a little pick to separate off the back of the cardstock from the front so that it's about half as thick as it used to be, and then we'll glue those down. So I still have the dimension, and you can see me doing that with the butterfly here that I'm going to be putting on my layout next to my photo. Just ripping off the sticker part and some of the cardboard from the back, and it is about half as thick then as it used to be. So I'm going to do that to a bunch of the buttons on the chipboard sticker sheet and arrange them in the center of some of my flowers. This gives my layout some dimension and makes it a little more interesting because it's not flat. I'm going to get my Bow Easy out and tie a bow with some hemp twine. So I chose a blue-purple hemp twine to do this. And the Bow Easy tool I'm using is one I got at a local card shop, but you can still purchase this tool on Amazon. So if you like tying bows as much as I do to include on layouts, this is a fantastic tool to have. I still thought my layout needed something. So I wasn't happy that I didn't have a big catchy title. So I went looking in my stash for some thickers that I could use, and I found these from an old Pebbles Jen Hadfield travel collection. So the kit came with some creative embellishment titles, but they were the Shine Bright and You Sparkle, and I have those earmarked for other layouts and not really appropriate for this travel layout to wine country. So I wanted something else. I wanted something big and catchy. And so I saw this Getaway and I thought that, that's perfect. This was just a weekend getaway for two friends and it's big, it's catchy. So I'm using my Thickers guide. And these are really great for removing the thickers from a sheet and moving them to wherever you want them to be on your layout and then adhering them down all at once. So you can see how easy it is when I am showing you how that I use my Thickers ruler. They also make this Thickers guide in curve guides so that you can put a title on a layout at a curve if you want. Really fantastic tool to have as well. So I'm going to add a few more butterflies on my layout here too. Can never have too many butterflies, right? And that is pretty much my layout. Thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to check out all of the kits from My Creative Scrapbook. Again, I am using the main kit, and it featured the Paige Evans Blooming Wild collection. There is also a creative kit with some Doodlebug design papers, a limited edition kit with some new simple stories, and an album kit. Bye-bye now.